Hello everyone, welcome back to another Leetcode daily. So this is longest subarray with maximum bitwise AND. So here we are given the array of size n and we have to return the length of longest subarray with maximum bitwise AND. So let's see the first test case. We have an array of 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, and the output is 2 because the subarray 3 and 3 returns as the longest bitwise AND value. So bitwise of 3 and 3 will be 3. So how is this possible? Like here the main observation is that the maximum bitwise AND in an array, the maximum bitwise AND will always be the max element of the array. Now, why is this? Because bitwise AND of any two elements will always result in a lesser value than the maximum of the two. Suppose, for example, we have 7 and we have 6. So the maximum, so the bitwise AND of 7 and 6 will be 0, 1, 1, 1 and 0, 1, 1, 0. So what will be the bitwise AND of 7 and 6? It will be 0, 1, 1 and 0. That is 6. But if we take 7 and 7, what will we get? We will get 0, 1, 1, 1 and 0, 1, 1, 1 and that will return in 0, 1, 1, 1, that is 7. So the bitwise AND of two numbers will always be less than the maximum of the two. And if the numbers are same, it will return in the means it will return the same value. Why? 1 and 1 will always return 1. So here, whenever we have an array, suppose we have an array of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The maximum AND value of this bitwise AND of all these numbers will be 5. Suppose you go how? Suppose 1 and 2. You take 1 and 2. This will result in 0, 0, 0, 0. Now at any point, this 0, 0, 0, 0 means 0, 0 and anything will result in a 0. So that is the reason why here the maximum subarray length will be 1, which is the element 5 itself. So coming to some conclusions, suppose we have an, yep, let's go. So what is the conclusion we got? That the maximum bitwise AND in an array will always be the max element. Now since it is always the max element, suppose we have 1, 2, 3, 3, 2 and 2. Sorry, 1, 8, 1, 2, 3, 3 and 2, 2 as a test case 1. So here you see our maximum bitwise AND will be 3. But we have two positions where 3 is occurring. So this subarray will return the AND of this particular subarray will also be 3, 3 comma 3. So 3 and 3 will also return 3. So that is the reason why the length of maximum subarray with AND bitwise here is 2. Okay. But similarly, if we had a case of 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay. Suppose this is the case. Okay. I just, you know, jumble those numbers. So in this case, will it be length 2 or will it be length will be 2 or 1? The maximum length. It will be 1. And why so? Because suppose you take this subarray. Suppose you take 3, comma 2, comma 3. What will this AND result? 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1 and 0, 0, 1, 0 and 0, 0, 1, 1. So what will this result? You see 0, 0, 0. So that will the first digit will be 0. The second digit will be 0, 0, 0, again 0. And the third digit is 1 and 1 and 1, that is 1. And the next digit, here you see, due to the 2, we got a 0, and that is why the resultant will be 2. And that is why if we don't have, another conclusion we got is, if we don't have subsequent, adjacent maximum element, then the length of them won't count. So what is the final conclusion we got? The length of longest subarray will be the max length of subsequent the max length of subsequent, that is adjacent max elements. If we don't have maximum elements together, then that means 1, 2, 3, 2, 3 will has the maximum element 3. So the bitwise and here bitwise and value will be 3. But the longest but length will be 1. But similarly, if we had 1, 2, 3, 3 and 2, here we'll have bitwise and value as 3 and the length as 2. Similarly, if we had 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, then here we got the AND value as 3 and the length also as 3, because here we have 3 consequent the maximum element digit. Okay, so now let us solve this using a code. So first we have to find the maximum element or in the nums array. So let's find it. Int max element equal to, so let's use this function max element nums dot begin comma nums dot end. So we got the maximum element. Now here, once we got the maximum element, we need to calculate the length of the maximum subarray. So let's take the maximum length, okay? And also we will count for keeping count of the consequent max element subarray, we are taking a length variable as 0, okay? Now let's iterate through the array once, nums dot size I plus plus. Now, if you see that we nums I, if you see that we reached to a point where nums I equal to the max element, then we will count, we will increase the length of our subarray by 1, and the max length will be the max of max length, comma, what will it be? Comma length. So it is keeping a count of the maximum length we are getting of the max element, the maximum subarray we are getting. So it is just checking that if the maximum element is 303, suppose it is 303, then it won't count 2 as the length of the maximum subarray. It will count 1 because 3 is the maximum elements are not consequent adjacent to each other, right? Otherwise, if we are not getting the same max element, we'll just make length equals to 0. And we are return the max length. Just check if this is running and let's. So yeah, this worked. So this got accepted and this code passes 100%, and this You can see the time complexity we are getting is the time taken to solve this runtime is 0 ms. And now let's go through the time complexity. So time complexity in this code will be C. To find the max element, we are iterating. So this will take big O of n. And again, we are iterating in the worst case, we are iterating in the whole n element. Not in the worst case, we are always iterating to all the n elements. So it will be the big O of n. That is where n is the size of the array. And what is the space complexity? What is the space complexity? Here you can see that we are just taking some few variables as max and length, but we are not taking any kind of extra space. So that is a constant. Okay, big of one constant. So this is linear. Cool. So this is how today's LeetCode problem. So stay tuned for the next. Thank you.